Yo, call me concept art. The way the concept is, I want you. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage. Today, and only today, we are here to talk about our potential first look at Sonic Movie 4 via concept art, ideas that didn't make it into Sonic Movie 3, as well as the potential box office success we're seeing right now with Movie 3, how much it might get up to and everything. So of course, stick around, have a good time, subscribe to your boy, hit the like button, and of course, make sure to continue watching. Let's go. All right, so first things first, Sonic Movie 3 is a mega success and has officially become the biggest movie in the trilogy. That's right. So worldwide box office, Movie 3 is officially at $422 million. For reference, Movie 2 hit $405 million worldwide, and that was after about 2.5 months. Now that's also counting, DVD sales and everything. But yeah, like the fact that Movie 3 in basically it's been a month now. It's been basically a month since the movie's been out. Has hit this number is kind of crazy, and I'm really happy about it. Now, obviously, I do wish it made a little bit more. Like, I do wish it was a movie that had made maybe 500 to 600 million. But I still think it's about to, it's probably gonna, I'm guessing it's going to get to about 450, max 475 million. I mean, on the crazy side, it could get to 500 million if it stays doing well internationally and domestically. But the movie is going on digital tomorrow, so I'm assuming with digital and maybe a week or two run of like big nights at the box office, I'm eyeing it at around like 450 million, which is still really good. Now, obviously, no matter what, as much as we swept, Mufasa definitely took a lot of mind share. I'm looking at Mufasa here at around 600 million worldwide box office, which, it is what it is. It's one of those things, to be fair, like, it is the international box office that pushed Mufasa, because domestically, for people that don't know what domestic means, I feel like I learned a lot about movies just because of Sonic Movie 3. Domestic is basically North America. And so Mufasa did $209 million in North America, and Sonic Movie 3 did 218. So Sonic Movie 3, like, domestically is way bigger, and people have been loving it more, and I'm happy about that. But yeah, the international numbers for Mufasa are really what are pushing it, because Sonic's at about 203 million. So very heavy, carried a lot by the US sales, which I think is fine. It's cool. It's still making big money. I'm still really happy for it. And yeah, I feel like if Mufasa hadn't taken so much theater space, because I found this out too, like via like this, is that like at the end of the day, Disney is able to buy a lot of theater spaces, whether it's IMAX, whether it's like smaller spaces. And obviously all these theaters fight for different spaces, so they had a lot more room. But it is what it is. Very happy with Sonic Movie 3, officially the biggest in the trilogy, which probably means we're going to be getting a lot more movie Sonic stuff. I mean, I looked at like, Paramount's track record. When things are successful, they make a lot of them. They make a lot of the Mission Impossible movies. There's like 5, 6 plus of them. They make a lot of, obviously, the Transformers movies. Like, they are not a company that like is shy from making a lot of movies as long as they make money. Now, obviously, I know there's obviously a conversation with Sonic about like, how far can you really go? How far do you want to push in? My opinion is always, if you can keep up a good script, make a good movie, make something cool, by all means, keep making it, right? But if you feel like, you have a story in mind, you have an end to your story in mind, then I think you can pleasantly end it. I wonder how much Jeff Fowler has in him. I know he loves these movies, but he's now at a trilogy with a 4th confirmed. How many does he have in him? Probably like maybe 1 or 2 more before he's tapped out. Maybe someone else will take it. But of course, let me know in the comment section below, how far do you think they could take? Because I've always said, like, I feel like with Sonic, there's sort of building a universe, and I wonder, can Sonic in theaters sell other characters getting their own movies? Like, can Shadow have his own movie in theater? Can Knuckles have his own movie? Or do these movies really work as like Sonic the Hedgehog movies? I wonder how that is. Now let's talk about the potential of Sonic Movie 4. So basically, the home video release is out, and there's a company called like SoCal Videos or something, and they released a bunch of concept art. Some of them like scrapped ideas from 3, but some of them major hints at what we might be seeing in Movie 3. So I think we're gonna go through these in order, check them out, talk about them and all that. So let's start with this. I love this piece of Maria and Shadow. I believe this is one that Jeff Fowler made a social media post about, just saying, you know, the first thing we had in mind when we were making this movie is to nail this relationship between Shadow and Maria, which I think they did. I think everybody kind of agrees that like the moments between Shadow and Maria are some of the best parts of the movie. It's cute, it's focused, it's lovable. So this concept just looks so good. And well, obviously, like, you know, Maria didn't end up looking this young or this, you know, person. It's concept art. It's meant to be old thing. The actress did a fantastic job playing Maria, and I'm really happy. Like, this shot, I feel like still held up in the movie. This one really stood out to me. Originally, I guess this was going to be a potential rooftop battle with Shadow. Now, obviously, you know, concept art is just, you know, them dicking around with ideas, but I love this. I mean, there was a chance that, like, I mean, they obviously kept the idea of them being on a building fighting, you know, with the Sonic and Shadow shot of them going head to head over there. But I will say, like, if it was all of them on the side of the building the first time encountering Shadow like this shit would have been crazy. I love the aura that's going on here. Just this shot looks so good. Nothing too crazy with this one. This is, I guess, the lab scene where they're talking about life reminiscing. It looks like Shadow is crying here. You know, you can't really tell because, like, the model just looks sad. But, you know, we do know that this is technically when Shadow has the flashback to Maria. So maybe he's seeing someone with a friend and getting a bit emotional about it. Nothing crazy with this. I mean, this was basically in the movie when Sonic's walking around here being like, you know, Shadow, I understand why you're grumpy. You grew up in a place like this. And then, you know, he gets pushed up on the wall. This, dude, this is so fucking awesome. I guess this is the original concept of when Gerald and Eggman were going to invade Gun. And I gotta say, man, this shit is pretty fire. I would have loved, now seeing this concept, I would have loved a bit more of like a hardcore dynamic between like Gerald and Eggman, where like they were a bit more like rough and mean, like with their planned pause. Like that sounds crazy out of context, what I'm saying. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know, the Gun headquarter invasion was very much like silly, whereas here it felt like they came in and fucked shit up. And I feel like in some way that would have hit really different. But obviously the tone of the movie was different. Obviously you can see the briefcase here. This is probably going to be where the, you know, the key was for the Eclipse Cannon. Funny enough, originally the place they were going to find Eggman was not in the ocean. The crab was, I guess, going to be somewhere else over here where Knuckles found them. And I think there's like there's a second shot of this one. They're indoors. Yeah, this shot of them indoors is crazy. Someone pointed out that this looks like those GTA loading screens, and I can't get that out of my head. But yeah, though, this is so funny. I guess they would have found originally Gerald run down this apartment. The show's still playing here, which I love. La Ultima Pasión was always part of the movie, but I love the gang, you know, shocked here. So obviously this scene was, by the way, can we talk about how he has one of Sonic's quills in the drink? This man literally, and I mean literally, juicing up on the Sonic quill, which is crazy. But yeah, this was the original concept, for which, I mean, I don't think it makes too much of a difference which one ended up being in. Oh man, this one hurts my heart. I wonder if this was going to be like in the flashback, or it would have been something maybe Shadow flashed to when he was on the moon. This is just beautiful. I love this shot so much, of just them looking at the earth like that, you know, with the sun sign, because obviously you have the cool, you know, a light shines even though the star is gone. Beautiful shot with this one. All right, and now we get into our first hint of movie 4 / indication of where this movie was going. So first of all, Super Shadow, Super Sonic looking incredible here. But yeah, originally, from what I'm seeing here, the Eclipse Cannon actually did hit the earth, right? There was the moment where it hit while these two were fighting. I guess maybe like it looks a bit more like Shadow was distracting Sonic at this point. Like Sonic was maybe revenge driven while Shadow was fighting him, and you know, the Eclipse Cannon hit the earth. And almost, you could almost say, right, like, you know, there's this like crater and explosive area over here. You could argue originally in the movie, that's where, you know, that moment is where they land on Earth when they start fighting and get into Super, because like there's no reason technically when Sonic and Shadow are fighting and they land down that they're in this lava crater. Obviously it looks cool in the movie, but nothing happened to be in that area besides them landing there. Whereas originally it looked like the Eclipse Cannon here blew up and then this giant like crevice area spawned in. So that would have been really interesting to have seen it played out like that. And yeah, this is where we start to see the hints of what might be in Sonic movie 4, which is time travel, because the only way you were going to reverse the effects of the Eclipse Cannon would be that. Now, nothing too crazy with these ones, just some kind of cool shots of Eggman over here, but we get into some more crazy territory over here. This one also dropped today. First of all, I just gotta say, I love this artwork. Like, there's something about this one that just stands out to me so much. I can't really tell where this is. I guess this kind of looks like Windy Valley a little bit from Sonic Adventure because of like the windmills back there. You could argue it's kind of like Skyro, but yeah, you could tell there was a point where they were gonna like escape someplace. I love the Sonic Heroes like dynamic here with Tails having to carry both of them. You have Knuckles over here with scorpions on his head, which is terrifying, with Sonic chain. Maybe this was like the end of the movie, or some set piece where, you know, the Eclipse Cannon hit a part of the earth and grazed it and then they had to escape. Or maybe originally the key was going to be around, you know how in Sonic Adventure 2 they go to the pyramids for the Eclipse Cannon stuff. Maybe they were gonna do something like that originally here. This is just, I guess this might have been like the end of the movie, right? Maybe they're, you know, reminiscing, upset about what happened to Shadow, because this looks very end of movie. I love, by the way, look at Sonic and Maddie. Look at these two cuties, bro. I love them. A mother caring for her child over here, as they're all roasting. But also, what the fuck is Knuckles roasting the graves? That's fucking crazy. But yeah, this seems to me like an alt ending shot of the movie, with the aftermath of everything. You also have an alternate version of the Chow Garden theme, which, look at this one, is just so silly. Sonic looks done with life. They all look so tired. What happened? I guess originally this would have been like when they got their ass beat by Shadow, and so they were just like exhausted and beat up, and then you have him like explaining the plot. But cute shot. And here you have, you know, which this ended up being in the movie, you know, the giant black hole thing that Shadow ends up tossing while they're escaping. By the way, raw shot. I'm glad that they kept I'm glad they kept Knuckles biting onto this thing. I like that this latch idea that he grabs onto stays in the movie. All right, and here it is, what I would consider almost Sonic movie 4 concept art, aka post-credit scene concept. Future Eggman over here is like a king overlord with Metal Sonic by his side in a world where he won, seemingly, right? You have these statues carrying his egg bots. You have like a red sky. Like, holy shit, dude, we need to sit down and talk about this, bro. I cannot stress enough how raw, first of all, Metal looks. Look how amazing it looks. But even Eggman, right, with this sort of warlord identity. And man, I cannot help but think, and you guys can tell me that this is going to be what Sonic movie 4 is going to be, but like, man, if it's not, I'll be upset, right? Because I think time travel seems to me pretty much confirmed. I feel like with what they were gonna do with the Eclipse Cannon hitting the Earth and then having them to reverse it, with what this looks like it was supposed to be, I feel like movie 4 is going to lean on the time travel aspect of this. And man, I gotta say, like, this idea that like they went to the bad future here where he won. I love even the statues being Eggmanified is so good, and it was all thanks to Metal Sonic, you know. And there's sort of like, there's gonna be like sort of a dark theme to that of like, yeah, like Eggman being like, I did it, you know, and all it took was you at the end, right? And obviously you're gonna have Metal Sonic pulling up with the clones, and it's gonna be like a big Terminator, like robot boss fight. I feel like you could do some crazy shit with this. But yeah, this blew my mind when I saw it today. I just find that this shot is like incredible, and I really do hope now that the next movie leans on some time travel shit. I'm also really glad they didn't shove all this stuff in the movie ultimately, because this movie really does a good job of focusing on Shadow, like Shadow as a character, his backstory and everything. And obviously, while this time travel stuff will be good for the next movie, I really do think for this one, keeping it really about like Sonic Gang, Shadow, Gerald, and that plotline, I think kept it more focused. We also got official concept art of Amy over here. I guess this would have also originally have been part of the post-credit scene, where again, post-credit scene, it looks like they're standing on some giant robot that gets cooked, and Amy comes to save the day. Also, again, red sky area, indicating to me that, you know, there was time travel and Sonic ended up somewhere he wasn't supposed to be. Because I mean, I don't think think the Earth has this red sky. The red sky shares a commonality with that last concept art we saw. I am glad, you know, Amy does look pretty different from the concept art to the movie. In the movie, she has like 6 pieces of fluff in the front here. It looks like it's the OG3. I hope her dress isn't like this, where it's like too slim down. I hope it is like this sort of like oval, you know, bigger, just because it feels like she'd have more space to move than in a dress like this. But obviously, again, this is concept art, so I don't think it's the full thing. But the boots are really pretty. But yeah, this again looks to me like another indication of Sonic ending up somewhere he shouldn't have. Again, this could be today, but this looks like part of a bad future. Which, like, between these two, like, I am so excited for what the potential is. I know obviously people are thinking movie 4 is gonna lean on heroes potentially, you know, with potentially, you know, Neo Metal Sonic or a Metal Overlord type boss fight in there, right? But I don't know, man. Seeing what they're doing here, I am so down for all in on a Sonic CD style where, like, because they have a bigger budget, they're going to be able to be off of Earth, or at least be in like areas of Earth that are like completely destroyed. I don't know how they're going to time travel. You know, it's probably going to be Sonic maybe has to run something crazy, right? Or maybe one of the rings is like a time travel variant of the ring. They'll figure out something. But yeah, whatever it is, I'm in. This is cool too. I guess originally there was going to be a full city escape type move with like this giant ball in London. I wonder what would have caused this entire rip to happen. But yeah, I guess you would have had Knuckles driving with Tails in the back, which obviously would have been reminiscent of Knuckles on the motorcycle in Knuckles Season 1 of the show. But this would have been like a cute exercise, because I feel like this would have leaned maybe a little bit too cartoony, like a giant ball running around London. But I mean, it wouldn't have been off. I still think it could have been a fun scene, technically the version of City Escape they wanted. And again, another proof that the Eclipse Cannon straight up won here, and time travel was part of it, is you could literally see the Eclipse Cannon just hit the Earth. So I think originally what would have happened was Eclipse Cannon hits Earth, Sonic and Shadow maybe speed up so fast to cause time travel, or they figured out time travel just enough to reverse the effects of the Eclipse Cannon. But man, I am also like disappointed. I really do wish the fight between Gerald and Eggman was more like this, right? Where, like, you know, he's got like a fire flame finger gun, this guy's got a weapon. I would have liked something like that instead of fucking praying mantis like silly attack on each other, which again I don't mind too much, but I feel like seeing the concept art makes you go, oh, I would have wished for something a bit more serious for this finale. I mean, this concept art pretty much is in the movie, right? I love this fucking shot of Eggman here, but yeah, this was basically in the movie. Also, originally Will Ferrell would have played a role in the background, which I think would have been pretty funny. No one's really talking about that, but yeah, that's very clearly Will Ferrell back there, so maybe he'll find his way in there. I don't know. Also, holy shit, this shot is awesome. I guess this is originally like, you know, a shot of the Eclipse Cannon about to hit there, but man, like, what a beautiful shot. Now, granted, Sonic Movie 3, plenty of beautiful shots. We're actually, I think today, as with the time this video comes out, the movie's going to be available in like 4K, Blu-ray, and all that stuff. So we'll have every shot in like crazy, good-looking shots here. But man, this would have been a crazy shot seeing the Eclipse Cannon. But I'm glad they still kept it. You know, I'm glad there was always part of the vision. Even Super Sonic, Super Shadow looking cool in this art. Now, this is the last major piece of concept art. Again, like, I wonder where this is, because I love the idea here that like Sonic and Eggman got betrayed. Somebody, you have Gerald and Shadow. Look at how sick Shadow looks, by the way. He looks so good. There's something so like raw about this shot and what they're doing. But again, where is this castle, right? This almost looks like some kind of bad future type scenario, but maybe I'm just like overthinking it now. This could have just been an alternate version of the moment where Gunn was invaded, and maybe Gunn was in some kind of mansion, or some kind of part of what their plan was in this mansion. Maybe this is somewhere in London where the betrayal happens between Gerald and Eggman. But yeah, no, this is cool shit. But yeah, besides that, the rest of the concept art is more like, you know, cool different shots of the Eggbots or Eggman or even Gerald over here. Some nice city shots. But yeah, those were the major ones, man. I don't know, man. Those two shots of Amy and Metal Sonic in that future, bad future potentially, really got me excited, and I hope they go crazy places. Now, on the topic of when we potentially might get more information about Sonic movie stuff, it's gonna be a bit, like I said, the movie's coming out right now on digital. They're still promoting in theaters, but I do know that around March or April is when like Paramount Paramount, and movies do like a lot of their big investor calls and meetings. And I think there we are going to get at least two major announcements. I think we're going to get the announcement of, you know, a new show, right? And the announcement of potentially another movie or spin-off, because I feel like at this point they are given the green light to do whatever they want, right? But I do think no matter what, in a few months we are gonna hear that, hey, that's right, Knuckles season 2 is happening. That's right, Shadow is getting his own series on Paramount Plus or whatever, because I feel like you have to do more with Shadow. I mean, obviously you have the post credit scene where he comes back, but I think that character was so huge and popular, and you have Keanu Reeves, that you're gonna give him more to do, especially if movie 3 potentially doesn't have Shadow as like the full focus. He probably is gonna have some major role in there, right? But he's not gonna be a star of the show. And I do think like maybe that idea Idris Elba had might come true. Maybe they are gonna do a Knuckles and Shadow show, which would be crazy. Maybe they are gonna do a Shadow Sinatra show. But either way, I would expect announcements to happen within the next 2 or 3 months. But of course, guys, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think? What do you think of the concept art we saw? What do you think they might do for movie 4? What do you think is going on? How far do you think can these movies go? Because I really think, you know, these movies can go on for a long time. Obviously, they have free reign now. I feel like after you get to the adventure games, you have free reign to sort of take pieces of what you think might work. I don't think they have to go in order forever. I feel like doing it, I genuinely think this. One of the coolest moves they could really do would be adapt 06's storyline and make it incredible. Could you imagine like an 06 movie that like would fix that storyline, make it over the top, peak? Like you could do crazy shit with that, and I would fuck with that idea so heavy. That's like, I think my ultimate dream is 06 fixed via movie. I think like Jeff Fowler would have a place in his heart. I feel like Tyson would have a place in his heart, and it might be genuinely some insane stuff. So guys, let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.